Marvin Jordan speaking. It's time we meet, Mr. Shamley. I'm waiting for you in my production office. I think you already know the place. First door on the right after the reception desk. It'll be open.
Amazing shot. Hitchcock would have loved it.
Maybe the dead woman enjoyed it a bit less.
You're all wrong. Norma would have loved it too. She was my cinematographer. You don't like Hitchcock too much, do you?
Of course I do. The master of suspense, with his unrealistic plots and stereotyped psychology.
So you don't know who said that Hitchcock was the man by whom we like to be hated?
As a matter of fact, I do. Francois Truffaut, a French director. So?
Truffaut was right. I only realized it when I watched Hitchcock's last movies. The mask came down, and it became painfully clear how much he hated us. So clear the public could not take it. His last films were flops because the crowds could not stand the moral ugliness of the universe they portrayed.
Really?
Really. In those films there were no stars, no Cary Grant, Grace Kelly, James Stewart, no glamour to hide that even the nice guys were sick as hell. Neurotic psychopaths, peeping toms.
I've got a few questions. You don't mind?
Of course not.
Up to what point do you agree with that motto?
Are you suspecting me, Mr. Shamley, of being the actor's murderer? And of branding him with this harmless piece of merchandising? Now be reassured, thousands of film buffs own a similar murder weapon.
Somebody tried to kill me on the scaffoldings.
You should be more careful. There seems to be a dangerous murderer after my crew.
Did you ever meet Alfred Hitchcock?
Only once. He attended a charity party my mother had organized for orphans. He donated the psycho mummy.
You didn't want your niece and Jack Danvers to meet the crew?
I wanted the crew to be totally focused on the film, without anything or anybody, particularly my niece, to distract them. I don't know if you've noticed, but Alicia has grown an uncanny ability to distract men.
Why do you refuse to tell me anything about your film?
I've hired you to solve a series of disappearances. Plus, it seems, unfortunate accidents and murders. Not as a script doctor.
On the audio tape, someone is described as a fat pig. Who could that be?
The sound engineer. He's the only one who fits the description.
How bad was the actor's eyesight?
Frankly, I've never asked myself the question. He never wore his glasses during the shoots, so I guess it was not so bad.
Alicia, where was she when the crew disappeared?
At the house, with Jack Danvers and myself.
Mr. Danvers is your only servant on the estate?
Don't call Jack a servant. He's the son of my wet nurse. More than a friend, nearly a brother. We were brought up together.
What is the link between Andia, the actor, and the actress?
Both of them were diabetic and seemingly in love. They both used our drug. In fact, that's how I had the chance to get in touch with them and convince them to work for me.
I think I know where the body is. Do you have the key to the soundstage back door?
Oh, you're more gifted than I thought. Take this key. I think it's the right one.
Why do you think the actress was killed?
I have no reason to believe it was not an accident.
Let's assume there's a maniac on your crew who killed the cinematographer. Who would you suspect?
I assure you there's no maniac on this crew. I think her Houdini trick failed, and she couldn't open the belt in time.
Someone's trying very hard to make me have an accident. Do you have any idea of the Shadow's identity?
Proceed by elimination. You'll be the first to find out. I hope.
Just one more question. Why don't you call the police?
Mr. Shamley, I must say, I have no time for the police and their antics.
No time or no desire?
I'm in a hurry. I need to complete my film.
With a crew gone AWOL?
This is not the issue.
So why the hurry?
Mr. Shamley, I'm going to reveal to you a secret that even Alicia and Jack Danvers know nothing about. I'm going to die.
Oh, based on statistical evidence, I'm going to die too. In the long term, even shams and bad jokes come to an end.
Would you call 1 or 2 weeks long term? Why don't you look again at the TV monitors? No Hitchcock film, I promise. Something more gruesome.
Robert, you asked me to be frank. All patients do when they hope for good news. I'm going to be franker than your worst nightmare. Put your affairs in order quickly. Don't count on more than 2 months. The latest tests confirm what your body told you. The disease moves faster. The treatments no longer slow it down.
This prognosis was made 5 weeks ago. Speed up your investigation, and I'll finish my film on time.
I don't work miracles.
Oh, don't be modest. You've already located 3 corpses, reconstructed the actress's death. I trust your intuitions and your flashes, though I find the bit about the brainless actor a little difficult to swallow.
Why? A brainless actor sounds too much like a dead pleonasm to you?
Oh, even cattle have brains. You said the skull was glued back into place. Maybe the brains are still there. The murderer was just curious. Checked if there was something, however small.
Who knows?
Still, talking about brains, you deserve a little delicacy. One last item I want to show you. More uplifting than the one before. At least, for me.
Cheer up. It's no more your fault than mine. We couldn't have known she'd take a bath with her hair dryer and move the hiding place. Still, we got some documents. That's what matters most. Well, now I'll go and finish the pie in my room. Good night, and promise not to do anything stupid.
You had it all along?
Yes, it was accidentally recorded by the surveillance camera. It fits what you thought happened.
Was the first voice the sound engineers?
I believe so.
Got any other cards up your sleeve I don't know about?
Just these 2. They'll get you into the makeup girls and the gaffers' rooms. Go back to your work. Now.
Jack Danvers, I'm not available to take your call. Please leave a message.
Never-ending discovery. New corpse is in a trunk in the soundstage back room. Missing both shoes, one sock, one ring, and his head. Love is blind.
My eyes.
Who are you?
Guess.
Robert?
Come on. How could that decrepit upstart hold a rifle?
Gromek?
So, you still don't get it. Robert's recruitment standards have collapsed.
Whoever you are, I have a very clear picture of you.
So what? The postman's on vacation.
Who are you and what are you afraid of?
Can't we get closer for more intimacy?
No, not yet. I'm not that stupid.
So I guess you have to learn more about the Marvin Jordan family history. Let's start with Robert and Mary Rose.
eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot. Jesus therefore again groaning in himself cometh to the grave. It was a cave, and a stone lay upon it. And Jesus said, Take ye away from the stone. Martha, the sister of him that was dead, saith unto him, Lord, by this time he stinketh, for he hath been dead 4 days. Jesus saith unto her, Said I not unto thee, that if thou wouldst believe, thou shouldst see the glory of God? Then they took away the stone from the place where the dead was laid. And Jesus lifted up his eyes, and said, Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me. And I knew that thou hearest me always, but because of the people which stand by I said it, that they may believe that thou hast sent me. And when he thus had spoken, he cried with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth. And he that was dead came forth, bound hand and foot with grave clothes, and his face was bound about with a napkin. Jesus saith unto them, Loose him and let him go. Listen to another parable. There was a landowner who planted a vineyard. He put a wall around it, dug a winepress in it, and built a watchtower. Then he rented the vineyard to some farmers and went away on a journey. When the harvest time approached, he sent his servants to the tenants to collect his fruit. The tenants seized his servants. They beat one, killed another, and stoned a third.
Don't move, I'll take care of you. This little fall of yours will teach you a lesson. Communism is the people's opium, and religion its sleeping pills. Thanks a lot. It's much bigger and nicer than the one the bishop refused to give me. I can't believe it. It's totally unprofessional. Trunk too small for him? Well, I guess I have no choice. Same thing happened to St. John the Baptist and a bunch of kings. Still, I don't like it.
And Lot went up out of Zoar, and dwelt in the mountain, and his 2 daughters with him, for he feared to dwell in Zoar, and he dwelt in a cave, he and his 2 daughters. And the firstborn said unto the younger, Our father is old, and there is not a man in the earth to come in unto us after the manner of all the earth. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. And they made their father drink wine that night, and the firstborn went in and lay with her father, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. And it came to pass on the morrow, that the firstborn said unto the younger, Behold, I lay yesternight with my father. Let us make him drink wine this night also, and go thou in, and lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. And they made their father drink wine that night also, and the younger arose and lay with him, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. Thus were both the daughters of Lot with child by their father. And the firstborn bare a son, and called his name Moab. The same is the father of the Moabites unto this day. And the younger, she also bare a son, and called his name Ben-Ammi. The same is the father of the children of Ammon unto this day. Dear sir, you will understand that after all the medical and human care, support, and brotherly love you received at our foundation, your allegations in various media deeply hurt us, and we can no longer count you among our members. Unless you quickly correct your statements, we shall be forced to start legal action for libel. Yours sincerely, Michael Keller.
Eyesight further deteriorated by 25% since latest examination. Total blindness to occur within 2 to 3 months. Brain tumor develops in sync with eyesight loss. Surgery not an option. Exams confirm previous reports that diabetes fully cured.
Moses was there with the Lord 40 days and 40 nights without eating bread or drinking water, and he wrote upon the tablets the words of the covenant, the 10 Commandments.